Hi again, everyone. Here's more Metroid 2 Return of Samus for you. Last we were here, we were searching for two, I think, Metroids. I think we are about to run into our very first Zeta Metroid, which, in my opinion, are actually the most challenging of the Metroids that we're gonna face. Oh, this is only an Alpha Metroid, but soon enough we will hit the Zeta Metroid. Wow, that was unceremonious. Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing pretty well myself. Oh, something I realized, which actually doesn't really matter that much, but I had said in one of my previous videos, I think, that Metroid Fusion was my first game, and that I actually hadn't played this game until quite a while afterwards. That's actually not true. Now that I've thought about it a bit more, this was actually my first Metroid game. I got it at a second-hand video game store near my house, the house that I live in now. It was called the Temple of Pong, and they had it available, I think, for pretty cheap at the time. So that was my first one, and that may have been part of the reason it was difficult for me, difficult to get into at least. Oh, this is interesting. I thought there was a Zeta Metroid here. It's just a Gamma Metroid, though. My errors aside, we are going to fight some Zeta Metroids pretty soon. There's a missile recharge station right here. And the lava has receded again for us. That's good. Not this lava, apparently, but elsewhere. So I guess the big challenge with making these kinds of videos is, doing soft-spoken, you want to think of things that are at least interesting for people to listen to. I don't always have the easiest time, I guess, coming up with stuff to talk about. I just try to say whatever's currently on my mind. But I don't know. Not a lot of preponderance, I guess, goes into these. I will say, I know maybe you're tired of me talking about my the geeky sort of stuff that I do. I did actually just finish watching the show Star Trek Enterprise, and that was the only... Oops, I don't even want to go this way. That was the only Star Trek series I had never completely watched all the way through. And, I thought it was pretty good. A lot of people cite Enterprise as being their least favorite in the series. I honestly don't really get where that comes from. I think it was a really good show. I really thought all those shows were good, I have watched Star Trek since a super young age, so I guess nostalgia may be part of it, but yeah, a lot of people don't seem to like Enterprise very much, which is a bit disappointing. I thought the cast was, it wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. Scott Bakula was a good captain, and Trip Tucker, I think, was a great character. Some of the other characters were maybe not quite as developed as they could have been, but and that I think may have led to the show's kind of downfall. So a lot of the bridge officers you actually didn't get to know very well. Anyways, I finished watching it, and the series finale for Enterprise is notoriously criticized for being kind of an unceremonious end. These weird super pixely blocks can be knocked down with a missile, or 2 missiles. Oh, but anyways, as I was saying, the last episode of Enterprise, lots of people really hate it, and I had seen it before, and at the time I didn't really like it either, but I watched it again, and it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as I remembered. So, that was nice. I don't know how many of you actually watch Star Trek, but I enjoy it. But you probably could have guessed that. Oh, Metroid. I realize I haven't, I haven't offered much trivia about this game. That's something I should probably look into more. I don't know a ton about what went on with Metroid 2 as far as its production is concerned. I do know there was a commercial on, in the US at least, where I think it was offered as like a prize in a sweepstakes or something. And in the commercial, the announcer pronounces Samus's name Samus, like a moose. And yeah, I mean, that's no trivia really, but it's kind of funny. Boy, lots of spikes in here. They look kind of like throwing stars. Okay, this one's glowing. That means he's probably going to turn into a Zeta Metroid as we get close to him. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, that's the problem with Zeta Metroids, is that they can't be harmed from beneath, which kind of constantly puts you in their line of fire. And they can take quite a bit of punishment. As you can see, that one took me down to about, well, less than half my health. Of course, we were in tight quarters just now, so 5 Metroids left. I think most of them are Zetas, unfortunately, but I don't think they'll be in these sand-filled rooms. Here we go, back. Oops, that wasn't what we meant to do. This guy actually shouldn't be too much of a problem. There we go. Sometimes getting backed into a corner is the best thing that can happen, oddly enough. Oh, here we go. Ooh, health. We love to have health. Whoops. No, I saw a missile expansion. What? Not quite sure how to get to it. We don't really need it, I don't think, but looks like some Chozo ruins are ahead, so. And I can tell you pretty soon we're going to be getting the screw attack, which is one of my favorites. Save. Oh, we're already out of those ruins. Probably didn't look hard enough. Or maybe we did and I'm just forgetting. Would not be the first time. Oh. So, I saw something over there. But I guess it must not have been. Maybe down here there will be a way in. You always know something's about to go down when you see the Metroid shells lying around. Oh, Zeta Metroid. I always thought it was interesting how even though the Zeta Metroids have feet, they fly around. Cool, that one did considerably less damage to us, fortunately. Oh, you know, I do know one bit of trivia, I guess. When the Super Game Boy came out, which was a peripheral for the Super Nintendo that lets you play, Game Boy games, I think one of the big things that it advertised was certain games would gain new features if you played them on Super Nintendo. And I think Metroid 2 was gonna be one of these games, but it didn't, I don't know if it didn't make it past development or something, or if that was if it was made too early for the Super Nintendo to have been in mind, but I think that would have been interesting. Also, in the late 90s, once they released the Game Boy Color, a lot of titles, well, not a lot, a few. Oh, Ice Beam, we don't want that just yet. But there were a few titles, and I may have even mentioned this in my playthrough of the original Metroid, but there were a few games made for the re-released for the Game Boy Color as deluxe versions, and Metroid 2 was going to be one of those games. You know, now that I mention, I think I did say this, but I'm going to say it again anyways. Metroid 2 was going to have a deluxe version, but it never got completed, I guess, which is disappointing because I think this game, more than any other, could have benefited from a colorized version. So, but since we can't always get what we want, we just have to enjoy our original black and white version. After all, we did get Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening Deluxe, so that's worth something. That may be a game that I want to do. Some of the Legend of Zelda games, but in particular, Link's Awakening. That was one of my favorite Zeldas. It's not one I think that a lot of people necessarily talk about. It's kind of the black sheep in the Zelda family, ignoring the, you know, CDI Zelda games. It's already almost been 17 minutes, so... Oh, here we go. This is that dark room that no one likes. The only really way to tell if you're really going anywhere is by laying bombs. Alright, we got a missile expansion. But, yeah, it's just... There's nothing to see in here, really. So, better we just leave. Oh, there's an energy tank. We want that, for sure. Guess you can't hurt that thing. So what we're gonna do is use the spider ball. And that way here we go. Great. Alright, so we have full energy tanks, which is fantastic. We'll be needing them. I want to see if I can get at least one more Metroid before I close down. I think this may have been the first place I went. Oh, no, I was wrong. And it's a Gamma. Okay, well, this is a good place to stop. It's about 20 minutes now, so I will see you all next time. Bye.